Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk about, actually it's my first video, so you probably don't know me, but I want to talk about something deep today. I want to talk about religion, and specifically Islam. Yeah, I just want to share my journey, how I came to Islam as a former atheist or agnostic, like something between the two. Like I was just not sure about anything. I thought that there is no God, but there is something. There is something, there's something that magically does everything, but I'm not sure if it's God or no. And then there goes my way to becoming a Muslim and actually practicing Islam. So I want to talk about this because I feel like people have to know this. I feel like a lot of teenagers go through this self-exploration, world exploration process near the age of 16 to 18, like when you graduate and you go separate ways with a lot of your surroundings, and you actually start exploring why things happen the way they happen, why some failures occur in your life and everything. And I want to apologize in advance for like using filler words or something, because English is my third language, and yeah. But actually, for me, delivering such deep thoughts, speaking on such deep topics, is easier in English. So yeah, I want to post in English on this channel and speak my mind, speak about what I'm actually interested in, because usually like people don't like to tap into these topics because they're also not sure. So I'm sure, and I want to talk about this. Like I'm sure about my religion and who I am and what I have to do in this life. So basically I just want to talk about this and really help you figure out some things. Yeah. So I want to like do a little skincare something. I look not good today. Like I really look not good because I haven't showered in like 3 days or something, and like yeah. All right. I'll just do like a little skincare and talk with you in the meantime. I've been eating like granola, just eating it raw, because I'm lazy to go to the mall and buy like milk or yogurt to eat it with. So yeah, I've been just eating that. And actually I ate with my friends. Like I went to their dorm. Like we have separate dorms. I went to theirs and we like shared food and like made up some meals and ate, and it was actually good. It was actually pleasant. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. So yeah, let's first start with my background. So I come from a Central Asian country, and if you don't know, Central Asian countries are mainly Islamic, Well, we like my country. Okay, I don't know if I should disclose my country or not, but okay, it will give you a more clear understanding of who I am, my identity, and my background. So, my country is Kazakhstan, but I'm currently not in Kazakhstan. But as you can see, I'm in a dorm, and I don't study in Kazakhstan. I study abroad. I think you can actually see which university I'm from looking at this logo, but basically, so I'm applying toner. So I come from Kazakhstan, and it's not ruled by Sharia, which is like a Muslim law, like Islamic law. Like we're not considered an Islamic country. We're just an Islamic society, like prone to Islam, not on any other religions. And well, there are a lot of Russians in our country, a lot of actual religions. Like there's nothing wrong with it for us. Like we consider ourselves a secular country. We don't follow Islamic like law, like on a legal level, like on a legal political level. We don't do it. However, our history is full of Islamic figures, Islamic education, Islamic like teachings, like like even our past alphabet was in Arabic, but we didn't speak Arabic, but like our alphabet was Arabic. We obviously had our language, but there was a lot of influence going on from the Islamic countries, like from Middle East and Arabs. So yeah, and there are a lot of mosques throughout the country. So we're surely Islam pro, And growing up, like obviously, a lot of our traditions were connected to Islam, like burial, everything was made in accordance with Islamic teachings. However, there's a big no. I think it's like common. It's like how to say it? Like it's like, so I'm applying a gel, like moisturizing gel. I think it's like very common for other Central Asian countries as well, that like no, like not every Muslim actually follows what is prescribed for us. Like our society does not necessarily follow every like teachings we have been given. We had been given. I mean, like, well, I don't want to like blame others. Like, they're I don't want to do that. It's not why am I filming this video, trying to like downgrade other people for the sake of myself. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just gonna explain. So not everyone particularly follows it as it's needed. Like a lot, like a big proportion, like a big portion of Muslims in the country, like I think 80%, they occasionally drink, they occasionally abuse. Yeah, I'm talking about men specifically, actually. They occasionally, like, it's just actually it's our society, like it's just societal things, not much about religion, because there's actually a high crime rate in our country, and many people that do those crimes, they consider themselves Muslims, and there's a kind of a big contrast between what they do and what they believe in, and that's why I was always like not really sure about what Islam is and what proper Muslim is, because even my immediate relatives were also like that. They did some bad things, like outright bad things, I would say. However, they would like fast. They would always like appeal to the God. They would always say something like, by God's will, if God's want, for the sake of God. Like, those phrasings were always present in our conversations. Like the God was mentioned every day. It's like ingrained in our culture, but also like our society is not really like following Islam properly. So like there's a big contradiction, and that's why I had like a vague, uncertain, like ambiguous vision of this religion. And there was actually not really a lot of credible resources in my language regarding Islam and what it actually is. Well, there were like you could read Quran, or you could read like hadith. Hadith is like what's Prophet did, what particularly he did. It's like, I think it's like in Christianity. I forgot how it's called. Well, I'm not gonna say because I think I'm gonna say it wrong. So basically, bro, I think I wanna do something, bro. Like, I think I should do something with hands, because when I do something with hands, I think better. Okay, I think I'm gonna apply, like, I don't have anything to apply particularly, like, I don't know, guys. So, obviously you could read, like, just the actual things, right? The actual pillars of Islamic. However, I was not that mature for that, so I would just resort to local media, and it was just full of either wrong things, like just misinterpretations, or not specific things. You know, people would not talk about like specific things that would attract people into the religion, or transform the way they follow the religion. So like some whack things that don't particularly affect you, like they, like, people would just say it, and I'll be like, all right, so what, so how does it connect to me, like how, like, why should I do it, right? Why should I follow it? Like, there were a lot of questions in my head, and generally, I'm a very curious person. Like, I'm a very curious person, and I think that's the main reason why I accepted Islam very fast. Like, my journey was, like, when I came to Islam, I accepted it very fast because I was always curious, and one specific day, like, all my questions were answered, and I was like, whoa, like, everything clicked in my head, and I was like, I have to change my entire life right now. So basically, I actually would maybe I can do my makeup, but like, I don't know, I'm not in the mood to, you know. I like doing makeup when I'm clean, you know, when I took a shower and I have somewhere to go, like, but now, like, I have no plans. My only plan is to like just study, and so I will probably not do anything. So I'm just trying to, I want to like put some like lip balm, but I can't find it. But alright, it's okay. So what was I saying? Alright, so what was I saying? Alright, so as I said, I was a very curious person since how long I know myself. And actually there's a little detail that kind of has an impact, I think. Well, my grandma and I grew up living with her in one room, and she prayed every day. And how prayers work in Islam, you pray 5 times a day, and those prayers are not just like 3 minutes thing. You have to spend like at least 10 minutes on each prayer. So I saw my grandma praying a lot. I actually have to pray right now. Okay, I'm gonna try to finish it soon. So she prayed every day, and I obviously saw it, and I think that it kind of had an impact on me, because she was the only person in my immediate environment that actually prayed. You know, like, my family was Muslim, but they were not like practicing Muslims, and it's actually very, very common to our society that people just believe in the existence of God, and believe that there are prophets, that there is a book, that there are some traditions that we that are ingrained in our culture, but they don't take practicing seriously, they think that if you pray, then you are just like, you know, you're just a too cool of a Muslim, and like it's that being like that is not available to them, or they think that they're extremists. You know, those who pray, they're extremists. Those who wear hijab, they're extremists, or something like that. I think it's pretty common to many countries near Kazakhstan. I think in Turkey as well, because my friend has a lot of Turkish friends, and they said like that to her. So I might be wrong, but I feel like it's like that there too. So, you know, it's not something crazy, I feel like. So she was actually the only one that prayed. But in Islam, if you're a Muslim, the most important thing you should do, the most important thing is praying. So if you're Muslim, I advise you to pray. I highly advise you to pray, because it's like genuinely the most important thing ever for you as a Muslim. And yeah, I actually have to pray. Okay, so I'm gonna be fast. So basically, I was always curious, and I would tap into other religions. I tried to learn Buddhism, but like it didn't click with me at all. Like I just liked the teachings, but I didn't feel any belonging to a greater power, because I didn't understand the image of that power, like of that deity. Like I didn't understand who it is. Why should I worship them? So okay, like Buddhism was not for me. Okay, Hinduism, there are a lot of gods, and I actually learned it, I think even like before high school, because we had some assignment, and I immediately understood that it's too complicated and just like so far from what I've seen my entire life, because our society, like we're far from countries that practice Hinduism, and like, you know, well, Judaism, we're also very far from it. So I didn't have any interest in that, and I feel like this religion is very like ethnicity centered, nation centered. Like I don't know. So I feel like, you know, in my country, I haven't met any person that practices Judaism, like anyone, like I mean no one. Okay, Christianity is actually pretty close to Islam in its essence, not in what people do, but in its essence, it's very close. Sometimes it's scary how close it is. And actually, Judaism is, I think it's closer to Islam than Christianity. You know, the current image of Christianity, because like I think that the essential, like the initial Christianity, like what Jesus had sent to people, the message that he had sent to people was pretty similar to the message of Islam. And I think the current message that people translate to the world is not really similar to Islam. Actually, quite opposite of Islam. And I'm gonna probably explain that later. But actually, these religions are called Abrahamic religions, and there are certain rules, like if you are a Muslim, a male Muslim, then you can marry a female, like Jew. I don't know, like a female Christian or a female Jew. You know, like the person that follows Judaism. Like I don't know how to phrase it correctly, but like you get the idea, right? They're pretty much connected, and it's considered that all these three religions have one God. Like there is a huge misconception regarding the fact that Islam is a very young religion. However, this religion starts from the first human, you know, from Adam, and he was a prophet. Well, it's just details now. Like, I will not get into the stories. I just want to explain that Islam is not a young religion. Actually, the messages that were sent to Moses and Jesus and all the other prophets are part of Islam as well. Because if you read the Quran, there are a lot of stories of Jesus, Moses, Jesus' mom. You know, these three religions are very connected, and Islam is just the completion of all the messages that were sent in other books, and it's considered that God's message is consequential, you know, not like sequential, or how to say it, you know, it's how to say it, but like, you know, it goes like period by period, like it's sequential. It's not given in one pile. It's just, you know, it goes and goes on, and the completion was hit when Islam came in, when the last prophet Sallallahu came in. So you know what I'm talking about, right? I hope you know. I'm looking at my timer, waiting for yeah. I hope that I'll not miss my priority. Okay. So I just want to say, I just want to debunk this vision that Islam is young and that's why it's not reliable. However, it's literally the core message is the same as in the previous religions. So if you think about it, Islam is like the most accurate completion of all the thoughts and messages that were established in a religious world. So yeah, and that's why I went for Islam. And I think actually like my cultural background played a huge role, that I first actually started learning Islam rigorously rather than other religions. But I feel like if I didn't learn it, if I was not like, if I was from Europe or America, I think I would still, you know, accept Islam, because I don't know, like it just feels centered to many nations. Like it's like borderless. I feel like this religion feels borderless for me. I don't know how to explain that feeling, but I think if you explore it, you'll also get the feeling, you know. And obviously that you might have thoughts about like, why then we have to do salah, which is like prayers. Why do we have to do them in Arabic? I might answer that question later or in the comments. I mean, I'm not a person that knows everything, but you know, these little details, I have also questioned that, and I just found an answer for myself. Like, I think if you have questions, if you have certain things that you don't agree with, you just have to do more research on them, and you will end up agreeing with those things, actually, you know, and upholding them in your mind, basically. So why am I even talking about it? So yeah, the main thing is that Abrahamic religions all you know, are from one God. So I mean, Abrahamic scriptures, you know, are from one God. Alright, we get it. Now let's come back. So I was always curious about like universe, you know. Okay, as a kid, I kind of believed in God, but like there were certain moments because of which I thought that God like abandoned me, and I just stopped calling upon God, and I was like, well, then there's no God. But then I started believing, like, I think at like 14, 15, I started believing in the universe and like universe, like, how to say, like some greater powers in the universe. Like, I don't know, just believing that universe is itself um like the God or something, like, I don't know. And yeah, this thought was pretty comforting, but it still was back. Like, yeah, you just say things like, okay, universe, please help me, universe will, like, universe works in my favor, you know, this like affirmative phrases, like, you know, universe is on my side, universe will help me, universe supports me, universe wants me to win this, universe wants me to do this. Yeah, they are helpful. However, not for me. I'm a person with a lot of insecurities, a lot of, like, you know, thoughts in my head, you know, a lot of like recurring negative thoughts. And I don't want to like share certain like things that I went through, but there were a lot of things, a lot. And the idea that universe is the only greater power on my side was not really convincing for me, and well, it works only for like a year, and then I just stopped believing in that. Well, I thought, like, I thought about, like, you know, like, I thought about, okay, let's not talk about this. I lost my chain of thought. Okay, so basically it was not convincing for me, and then I just stopped like, technically I just stopped believing in the universe or anything. I just abandoned all thoughts about, like, greater power, you know, the other worlds, like the powers that we don't see. Like, I just abandoned these thoughts because nothing of it was convincing, nothing helped me, and I was like, why am I feeding my like delusional thoughts? Like, they're not even helping me. Well, if this helps you, it's good, you know, it's good. And I feel like the curiosity in the universe leads to religion, because that was my final destination, and I felt like there's obviously something greater. There's obviously some magic or some creator or someone that constantly does things in certain order, in certain, like, in certain arrangement. They have, like, they do something, you know, they do something with this world. Like, there's someone much powerful than us that knows everything, that is eternal. There's someone there, or there's something, like, I don't know. And then one, I think, like, I remember, actually I remember the very peak moment. So I was applying to universities, and the university I'm now in, I applied to it, and I remember my little brother was applying to school in another city, and we went to support him. It was my half of my family, like, we went to support him. And I see that, like, I already sent an application to this university, and then I was like, and then I received, like, interview invitation, and this interview date was put on a date where we planned to, like, go to another city. So I was kind of scared. I was kind of, like, low-key scared, because I thought about what if the connection would be unstable there. But I obviously didn't want to change my mind and be like, no, I'm not gonna go there. I wanted to support my brother because it was a huge change in his life. So I wanted to, like, support him. Like, you have to pass exams in order to get into this specialized school, and it was in another city. So I obviously wanted to go. It was half of my family. It was like, I could say just was my family, okay? And, like, support him and be there for him. So I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna go and do this interview. I didn't really prepare. I was like, bruh, okay. And then we actually, like, the you know, the the apartment that we stayed in, that we rented for 2 days, I think, was near to the mosque. And you know, when Muslims pray, there is a call to prayer, which sounds very loud, which is very loud. And I never lived near to the mosque, and this was a huge shock for me, that like I didn't even know that we were near the mosque, but I realized it when the call to prayer started to sound. When the call to prayer started to sound. I don't know how to say it. Okay. So it's called Adhan or Azan. Okay. In Arabic, and it's a call to prayer, and it's very loud, like genuinely. I think you can hear it like from 2 kilometers away from the mosque. So in Islam, it's purposeful to make calls to prayer very loud, so that people either started praying in their houses or they went to the mosque and prayed there. And like it was very early in the morning. I think I slept very few amount of time, like very few, like I think 3 hours. And I was like staying up late till the call to prayer, and the first prayer starts early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., sometimes at 5 a.m. So it was like really late. It was really late. And I literally had an interview in like 4 hours. And when I heard this like Adhan, I obviously remembered God, God in Islam. Like, I just remembered God. I was like, well, let me just call upon God, because I'm literally gonna have an interview, and out of all the university choices that I had, this one was my most favorable one, and I genuinely, like, with my whole heart, I didn't think that I would get in, because even if I would get in and didn't receive a scholarship, I would not go, because like my family cannot afford it. So basically, like, I was like, well, okay, I think, okay, like I'm sure that I will not get a scholarship, so okay, I will just do the interview. But yeah, so I was like, okay, let me just call upon God, because I don't know, like, I really wanted to go to this university, and I didn't really want to leave in the city that I lived in for all these years. I wanted to like changes in my life, to live in an international society, like, that type of thing. So I just randomly called upon God. I just like whispered, or just said it in my head, like something like, please God, if like I really want to move out, I want to at least change cities, or more change countries, and now I'm gonna have an interview, like, please God, please like make this work, please make this work, make this happen. And after all I did the interview. Well, it was not bad. It was not even bad. It was really not bad. It was even good. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna get in, because there was a pretty intense competition between Kazakh applicants and overall, like, other applicants from around the world. And I knew that if I won't get like full tuition scholarship, then I will not go. So yeah, and then like months passed, and my interest in Islam just kind of increased. But then also one thing that I said, which is important to mention, is that I said, like, God, if you will make this work, I was very unsure that it will work. I actually didn't even believe that it will work in any way, because my stats were not really good. So I was like, God, please, if this will work, if I get into this university, or just in any university abroad, I just like changing my place was actually a big factor for me. That's why I was always like asking for moving places, not particularly, I didn't really care about the university, but like I wanted to move out. I was like, if this happens for me, I will become Muslim. I will follow a religion. I will do it. And then, like after I think 1.5 months, I receive an admission offer. Not only the offer, I receive a scholarship. And here I am. Okay. So when this happened, I immediately started researching about Islam and knowing more about it. And you know what I want to say? If you know English at least like on intermediate level, then you're very lucky, because there is a lot of content from Muslims all around the world, from all around the world, that post in English, and they all share their perspective of Islam, the details they notice in the Quran, they share their culture, everything. And if you know English, you get such a comprehensive view of Islam. And I started watching TikToks about Islam, YouTube videos, debates, like everything. I consumed so much knowledge about Islam, and I started reading the Quran as well. But I didn't even like read half of it. Yeah, I have to fix that. But basically, there's a lot of resources in English that are reliable, because, as I said, in my language, there's like, as I grew up, there was not many resources that I would consider convincing, reliable, or credible. So if you know English, you are so lucky to research about Islam. And okay, so yeah, I did my research. It's not really interesting to talk about what I learned or something, but I want to say that I just immediately everything connected. Immediately, like, I had a lot of questions. One of them were like, why are we created so differently? Like, why are we so different? Why some people have this inborn talents? Why are some people good mathematicians, good programmers, good designers, singers? Like, you see some people, they have this insane power and talent within them, and you're like, where does this come from? Bro? Like, we're built similarly. We have similar physiology, we have similar genes. Like, we're all one species, one species of human. We're Homo sapiens. We're not, we don't have different species. Like, we're 99% similar. But like, why are we different yet? Like, why there's so much differences? Why someone is better at this, someone is better at that, someone is worse at this, someone is worse than you at this, like, why? It's one of the questions that I had. Actually, it's shallow question. And the thing about the universe didn't really convince me, because what does it mean? Like, the universe wants you to be like that? Like, what does it even mean? So I understood that in Islam, Allah is described as someone who can do everything. For example, he created the first prophet without him being born. He was not born. There's a certain verse that says he said be, and he was. God said be, and he just was there. The same was Prophet Jesus, that Allah said be, and he was born in the womb. Like, he was like, how to say? He was created in the womb of his mother, Mary, Virgin Mary. In Bible, she's called Virgin Mary or something like that. like he was born out of virgin birth, you know, out of virgin pregnancy. Like he has no father, and it's similar to the first prophet Adam, that God just said be, and there he was. That's why I just connected these dots in my head, and I was like, well, God literally can do anything. God literally can do anything, and there's no bounds to his powers. He can split the sea, he can crack the moon, as he did when prophets lived. He did these things. He did these miracles through his prophets. That's why everyone has so many talents, because God just can give you all the sounds. God just can give you all the sounds. God just can say be, and there will be all your talents. There will be all your knowledge. God can, like, in a matter of a second, change your position. God can, I don't know, send something into your mind that will literally change the course of your life. And these thoughts make you think so differently about your life, that actually this life is so boundless when you believe in God, that you have so many opportunities, so many like things ahead of you and before you, like in front of you, if you just properly follow your religion, follow your God, and what he wants from you. Like the last, I think, 1 month of 1 month of like high school, my mindset completely changed. Like in a matter of a month, I literally changed. I just transformed as a person, and I like stepped into, you know, my college life as a completely different person. And I genuinely felt this transformation. Like it was not shallow. It was not, you know, like listening to those affirmations and convincing myself that okay, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna grow spiritually. I'm gonna be like that now. Like manifesting. Yeah, it actually works, because it's like a psychological thing. You just actually convince yourself. But I'm not good at convincing myself. You know, I have to look at external resources, at what others say, and like also like the verses. And okay, I'm gonna say how exactly I transformed. I had bad habits. And I gave up those habits in one day, literally in 1 second. I was like, I'm not gonna do that now anymore. That's all. It was really easy to give up certain things, give up certain people, really easy. And those things harmed me, everything in my life, so it was easy and very rewarding to give up those things. Also, another thing that really attracted me into the religion, like literally made me want to practice the religion immediately, was that it said that God loves you like, I don't remember the exact number, but like 70 times more than your mother. Can you imagine that? Like, God loves you so hard that you almost feel unworthy of his love. And this little thoughts, this little like verses, things make you feel so connected to your God. And that's why you start following the religion. And when you feel so connected to your God, you don't want to upset him. And that's why I feel like Islam feels more coherent, comprehensive, because it all leads you to actually practicing the things you believe in, and not being a hypocrite believer, you know. And yeah, as I said in the beginning, like a lot of Muslims in my like country, they're low-key, you know, their actions don't uh, reflect what they believe in, and I don't want to blame them. We all have our sins. We all work on them. Like I generally don't want to blame them. I just wish a religious growth in their life. But I just want to say that when you actually like learn what God wants from me and what God sent to you, you literally start doing things that you thought were hard. There is a verse that says God can make easy things hard and hard things easy. What can be hard things? Hard things can be like earning money, but God can make it easy for you if you just pray, remember Him throughout the day, and do like charity, fasts, like things like this. Just follow these things, and it's so comforting to know that God has your back at any moment of your life. There are a lot of like magical, I also wanted to share this one thing with y'all that happened in my childhood. Well, in Islam, there were angels. There were angel protectors. I think there were two angels assigned to you from birth that follow you every day. Like literally, right now, there are angels besides me, but you can see them because you're human. But they protect you when there are certain moments. Obviously, not every time. But the one thing that had always been in my mind and that kept me a believer throughout my life, even though I didn't particularly believe in God, but I believed in something greater, something greater. That there's no way that there's literally nothing. I just believed, I was a believer. Because of this one moment in my life. So as a child, I was very active. I was very sporty kind of way, kind of thing, so I rode a bike often. One day I was like riding with my brothers, and we all like were riding very fast, and like I remember there was like a little like, how to call it, like like this, how is that called? I'm gonna translate for you guys, bro. Like I can't remember. Descent. Where like. Well, I just can say hill or something. Well, basic. There was like a, hill. Nah, it was not even hill, but like, you go down. You basically go down. And since you go down, your speed is high. Like, the riding speed is high. And I was like going down, along the road. And I was very like speedy. I was riding so fast. I was so excited. And then I was just like, it's just like you have to turn left first, and then you go down. And I was not really attentive to what was happening around me, but there was a car literally coming at me. And I was so like, I was riding at a high speed, and I saw a car very, very close to me. I was like, oh, probably I'll be in a hospital in 2 seconds. But then I was so scared, and I didn't have any like time to think about what should I do, because bro, I'm a kid. I was like 6 or 7. Whoa, I said this 6, 7. Okay. So I was a kid, and I was not, like I didn't know what to do. I was not a professional at riding bike. I was like, bro, like it's gonna be so painful right now. So I just gave up, and I just let my grip off from the bike. My like feet I just released myself. Like I was just like it was like this, and I was really like not good at riding a bike. Like I couldn't ride without two of my hands. You know, like when you ride a bike, you can like release your one arm, and the second arm you can just ride a bike. You know, you can do it. But I couldn't even release one hand. Like I was really bad at balancing a bike. So obviously, if I just release my hands, my feet, then I would fall and fall badly. But then I released it, and there was like a little like a little little like how to call it, bro? I'm so sorry for my English. Like a little like well, I'm gonna translate it, bro. Slit. Is it okay to call it slit? There's like a little like gap. Okay, gap. There was like a gap between the, you know, other cars that were parked and the car that was passing at me. And there was like a little gap that only fits for a kid, bro. Like one person cannot go through it, only a kid. Like one adult cannot go through it. And I'm literally on a bike. How am I gonna pass through it? So I was like, no way I'm getting into there. So that's why I released all my grip off, and then, bro, I went through this gap. It was so small. I went through this gap without any controlling. And when this happened, I was like, what did just happen to me? Like, I released my grip off. I was literally in the center of the road, and then my bike just goes this way and into the little gap that is there. I felt that someone touched my bike and just led me through this gap. And since then, I never forgot this moment. So there are certainly powers besides us. It could be angels. And I really admire Islamic like teachings, because it's so magical. It gives so much whimsy to your ordinary world, that there are angels the size of mountains that are with us every second of our lives since we are given a soul, you know. Actually, Islamic teachings are so detailed, and there are a lot of details that make your life just more entertaining, more interesting. When you believe in this, everything becomes purposeful. Everything gains purpose, you know. So I just want to say that I certainly was saved that day. And when I started, like when, you know, I got into university, like when I got the admission offer, I immediately thought about these magical things that happened in my life, that you know they happen, bro. They happen. If you didn't have this type of moments in your life, well, I don't know. Then I don't know, like, just listen to other people's stories, because what I'm telling to you is so raw, is so true, so authentic. And the purpose of this video was for you to learn more about Islam and actually get interested in religion as a young adult, because life will be hard if you know, will like stray away from religion, I feel like. So it's just for your sake, I believe. Because for me, as a very sensitive and very like, you know, hurt persona, religion was inescapable, irrevocable, like. So I'm very glad that I'm part of that I'm very glad I'm Muslim, and I will be eternally grateful for this. So yeah, I think I will end this video and go to pray. Yeah. So guys, if you want, actually, I learned pretty a lot about my religion. So if you have thoughts, I'll probably try to. If you have questions, I'll probably try to comprehensively answer them. So you can leave questions. You can leave anything. Please don't leave hate, because I'll cry. Like, I'll legitimately cry, guys. So guys, bye guys. Wish you good luck in your life, in your spiritual way, in your spiritual growth, I mean, and yeah, just be good and healthy and fulfilled. Bye guys.